Okay.
Yeah, I scheduled it yesterday because I wanted to be on the Facebook schedule, and when you don't go live within 10 minutes, it cancels.
And we
Well,
fucked
then
up our first show.
why
Yeah.
didn't you say anything to me?
I didn't know
I-
until all of a sudden it says we have canceled your Facebook feed.
No, but why didn't you say anything to me? Because
I didn't know until it happened.
no, about me being late. Because I set an alarm for 9, but I didn't wake up. I just got up at 9:30.
Did I know that?
No, but usually you send me a bunch of texts to say, "Hey, where the fuck are you?"
Well, you know.
Okay, hang on. Let me go get a tablet.
Yeah. All right. All right. And now everyone, people haven't started in the chat room yet, but now everyone feels our pain sometimes with Nick. So lesson learned, as I have to set myself an alarm to text Nick to wake up at 9.
All right, I sent you a couple of links.
Okay. Scintillating. We had a bunch of people in the chat room. They're no longer here.
Yeah, we fucked that up.
Yeah, well, I hope that they come.
Can you just go live and we'll just add him?
Well, we're on Facebook and YouTube live right now. Do we want to just start the show?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right. This podcast discusses. Oh, I haven't started the show.
Discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
All right, mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 517. We are recording this on Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. I'm Edie Sellers. We have Holy Goalie. All that freaking noise is Nick. Because once again, Nick overslept.
I don't know what noise you're talking about.
Yeah, Nick overslept and borked our feed, our video feed, and everything else. Nick, you are so not my favorite right now. You are so not my favorite.
I can't stop being me.
Yeah, that part of you might want to think about not being anymore.
Yeah, that part of me. I was out. I was sorry. I was out doing cocaine and hookers, and it's hard to stop. It's an addiction.
Yeah. So why don't you sort out your audio feed and your video feed
and call us back in 6 months.
Call us back in 6 months. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute your mic until you sort out your feed. Oh, look, there you are. You're adding to the stream right now.
Look at that. There's 2 of me.
There we go. So I'm removing your other one. All right, Nick, you there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Much better. Oh, yeah. Barbara Zelikman in the chat room says, "Oh, Nick." That's where Nick and
Barbara.
Coley and I are both in that spot. Nick. So, let's see. Updates, information. It's been a slightly chaotic day here at GameHounds Central. Beyond just Nick. I don't know, Nick, are you in the PG&E power shutoff
I don't know.
map? You
Maybe?
should know this because they're shutting off power at noon. Not
No,
here,
apparently
in
they're two
theory.
different maps. Like our landlord sent us an email that said, "Hey, you might be affected. We are in the zone according to one map, and we're not in it according to another." So
Well, yeah, as you may have heard on your news, because I guess it's made national news, PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, which is the utility company in California, is going to preemptively shut off power for right now 500,000 customers. No, 250,000 customers are without power right now. At noon, they're going to expand that because tonight we're supposed to have winds. I don't know really why they're shutting off power at noon when there's not going to be a power issue until tonight, but that's what they're doing. So, fortunately, it looks like I am not in the map, but
no.
just like 3 miles that way is. So all around me, and in theory, I'm not going to lose power in 3 hours, but we'll see. Peter says in the chat
Yeah, I
room, on
might.
the Spreaker chat room, says T minus 2 hours, 8 minutes until I lose all power, guaranteed. Oh, you're in it. That's right. Peter is in Danville, which is just outside of, just, like 40, 35 miles from here. And he's definitely going to be losing power. So, Peter, I'm sorry you're losing power. And I'm thank you for taking your precious little electricity you have right now to watch us. Thank you. It says something. You're awesome. So yeah, that's what I have been doing is putting up together maps and posting them to the Facebook and posting them to Twitter, because of course I'm part of the community emergency services here in Point Richmond. So I've got to do that kind of stuff. So, golly, how's your power?
The reasoning for it too is so
Well-
infuriating.
Which
Because
is
they say they're doing it so that they don't start another fire.
right. They don't really care whether there's another fire. They just want to make sure that they're not the ones that cause it, because
Yes.
yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating. It's like, well, maybe if your shit didn't suck so bad, maybe if you took care of your lines, but now we're just gonna shut down power for half of the Bay Area instead. It's easier.
It's much easier for them.
I thought they went out of business. I thought they were bankrupt.
They're bankrupt. Well, they filed for bankruptcy, and this is a judge has said you need to fix your shit, and this is one of the things that they said. Oh, we're gonna fix our shit by just turning off power.
This isn't fixing the shit.
Do you know what happens out here?
That's not how you fix.
Is if we
shit.
have a power
You
company,
don't fix your computer by turning it off.
Anyway, you're saying, I'm sorry, Goli.
so when we have like blizzards out here and ice storms and we lose power for a long period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, so they go after the power companies and they give them these like $1 million fines or $7 million fine because all these people lost all their food in the refrigerator, and all these people suffered because you couldn't get your stuff together when the power went out, right? Well, that's great. So you fine them $7 million. Does anybody in the city, any people get that? No, it just goes right to the town. And so what do? Well, now we need to make up the $7 million, so we raise the rates on the people that had no power, that never saw any of this.
Oh, yes.
If you're going to, don't fine them, or if you fine them, have them reimburse the citizens that lost something, okay? I could never figure that out. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we fined the electrical company $6 million. Ha, 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 they screwed up. What do I get out of that? If my power was out and I had a pipe burst or I had a problem here, does any of that $1 million come back to me to solve my problems? Does this go right to the state? And then the company says, well, we're going to raise rates because we just got fined $6 million and now I pay more. It never, ever works out for the people. So don't bother fining them. Please, no more fines. I don't want my rates going up. I won't see a dime of that. So please, just don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Yeah,
What's also so bullshit about that is that a $7 million fine is not a lot for them.
Yeah. Well,
Like
it,
it's a cheap excuse to raise rates, but it's not really like me paying $500 for like a traffic ticket.
right. Well, it's
That actually hurts.
the fines don't really make much of an issue for PG&E. It was the fact that it was the lawsuits from people who were filing that had all their houses burned down, and because we've lived through it on the GameHounds a couple of times where there was a massive fire and everything in Santa Rosa 2 years ago, and then the Paradise Fire last year, and it was smoky and nobody could breathe. We're nowhere near Paradise,
And
but
you
we
would
were
think,
affected
like,
by it.
some
But
of
those
that
people who lost their
would
homes,
encourage them to fix the shit.
right? Well, their shit is way fucked up,
No.
and it's going to take years, like entire whole sections. T-Rex hates push. Hey, show us your coffee cup. It's that time of the morning. We are live on YouTube.
You gotta move
and
AC rates.
oh, you're drinking what? You're drinking the water. All right, we got my Skywalker Sound coffee cup that I won't say where I got it, but let's just say it was through less than legal means.
Did you get it on Alderaan?
Mm-hmm.
Take down that
Okay,
comment so we
take down
can
the
see
comment.
Nick.
There we go. There you go.
Yeah.
Where's your coffee
Oh.
cup? Up there you go. Your kitty cup. You got a kitty coffee cup.
Yep.
So I've been having my own power issues over here.
Yeah.
I got the new iPhone update 13.1.2, and it proceeded to roast my phone and drain my battery in
no.
20 minutes. Yeah, and I get online, and there's a lot of people the same thing, and I've had iPhone updates that have had some issues with batteries. Nothing like this, because I take my dog out for a walk. It's a half-hour walk, and I have my map, my walk going, so I can see how far I went and whatever calories burned. And I usually have YouTube videos playing in the background, right? All while I walk, and I'll be texting people and Facebook, and the whole time, half hour, and I get home off a full charge. I'll get home, and I'll still have 50%, 55%. I went out today. I got to the end of the street, didn't even do a half mile, and I went from 95% to 60. And I was watching it drop in my hand. And so I shut off the YouTube videos. I shut off everything I could except the walking, tracker. And I got home with 20%. It went from over 90% to 20% on a half-hour walk. And it was roasting in my hand. And I was like, I have nothing going. I've turned everything off. And I went online, and other people said that it's the same thing. And I think you said there was a bug in this update. So whatever it's doing, whatever it is, there's something going on in the background that I can't find out how to shut it off, because it's A, causing my phone to heat up, and B, it's causing my battery to drain dramatically. And this is a problem. This is a huge problem, because if I can only get a half-hour battery life.
Yeah, it's not a phone anymore.
It's not a phone
it's
anymore.
It's a paperweight.
Yeah, I mean, I have an old iPod.
You have a schmuck with a paperweight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marcus would know. You're the schmuck with a what's a gun without ammo? You're just a schmuck with a paperweight.
Yep. So I'm having my own power issues over here. So of course, I posted up on my Facebook page to see, if anybody else is having the problem, any solutions. How long do you think it took before I got the first turn off the porn and go to Android post? And I said, thank you so much for the helpful comments. And I got back to these people. It's like, why waste my time? Right. Why come on here? Turn off the porn. yeah, man. Turn off the porn. Yeah.
Welcome to welcome to my life.
And then oh yeah, big Android. Go to Android, man. That helped out solve your iPhone problem. Thank you so much. You guys are so helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks. Freaking jerks. Jeepers creepers.
You really shouldn't talk about your mom like that.
Oh no, we don't talk anymore. I sorry, we don't. Long story.
So,
no, I'm not done. I am not. No, you down the bottom. You shut the fuck up. Okay, my time. My time. You can't even get on time. You already fucked up the first broadcast. You wrecked your show. Don't wreck mine. Do not wreck my show, okay? Your performance is ruined, okay? It's in the chat. Look over here in the chat. Look over here in the chat and read the comments. You fucked up. You're done.
You're in the show.
My time now. My time. My time. Okay. So on top of my phone draining, right, which is my first technological problem, we got the new video thing, and I thought it'd be kind of cool if I could put some videos up. So when we did what we're playing or news, we could have sharing the screen of the video. So I played this game, and I'll talk about it. Actually, what we're playing, I got NHL 20 on Xbox. There was a free 3-day trial for Xbox for NHL 20, the new hockey game. Okay, fine. This is great. It's free. So, but you have to be a gold member or a some other kind of pass thing, that the Game Pass, whatever the hell they call it on Xbox. Okay, you have to have some membership, but 3 days for free. So I fire up my Xbox. Hey, great. I'll try out the game, right? And I got a 45-minute update. So I went off, I read War and Peace, I learned some basic Hebrew. When I came back, the Xbox was finally ready to work for me. That's just great. Okay, so now I get it. Now I still can't find anything in Xbox. Try to start a party in Xbox. Forget it. Try to get a message in Xbox. Go to your settings. It is like the people that have done it for years are good at it, so they know what to do. But again, when I first got my Xbox, I had to Google how to eject a disc. That's what's going on with Xbox. You can't find anything without going to Google on this thing, okay? And still to this day, you can't find any. So
it is very unintuitive. That's
it is.
Sure.
Give me the blades back. Give me the blades from the 360. You could find everything in the blades, right?
Sure.
Okay. So now, so finally, I got the update. I read War and Peace. I started speaking some Hebrew. Okay, now Xbox is on. I download the NHL 20. Okay, whatever, took about an hour, start playing it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video so we can play it while I'm talking about what I'm playing on the new video show here, right? What happens? You can't go to YouTube. Nope, can't do that. Twitch, forget it. Don't even try to go to Twitch because I'd have to go and Google that. So what does Xbox have? Mixer. Okay, fine. I will broadcast this to Mixer, and then we'll go to my Mixer channel, and we'll call it up, and we'll watch the video. So I stream the hockey. I talk a little bit on there. I got a nice little video going on Mixer. Even got a comment. Somebody even commented on my video that I did, right? So I know it was working. I get done. I go to my Mixer channel. There's no video. There's no past stream. There's no evidence I exist on Mixer, even though I went to my channel. It's not there. Okay? So then I go, I look on the console. Nope, nothing there. But if I go to the channel, I can see there's a comment. Somebody made a comment, but there's no video.
Oh, really?
So
you could actually see a comment because I went looking on Mixer. I actually downloaded the Mixer app to look for it.
So yeah,
you didn't even exist.
So there is a comment on Mixer of a video that is nowhere to be found. So at this point here, Xbox is just so friggin' useless to me at this point. It really is. You can't do anything. Then someone suggested on the group page there that, hey, try to go to Twitch, and I appreciate the suggestion, but no. I am not going to jump through 17 more hoops to find out how to get on Twitch with Xbox. It should just friggin' work, and it doesn't. Nothing works on Xbox, except if you're an Xbox person and you've been with them for 6 years with the Xbox One. Then yeah. Then yep, now you know how to do everything. But as someone coming in that's casual Xbox user, forget it. So I don't have the NHL 20 video to show you. So if you want to bring up a generic one while I talk about it, that's fine. But it won't be mine because I can't get Mixer to come up or figure out anything to do with this Mixer. Why you can't have YouTube or Twitch or make it easy so we can put videos up, I don't know, but that's what Xbox does, okay? I might start listening to some Zune later. Do they still have Zune, or is that not a thing anymore? I don't know. Crying out, no, we can't. We can't just go with the big ones that are out there. We need to make our own and then have it last a year, then change it. What was it called? Blast or something? First it was Blast. Now it's Mixer. Who knows what it's gonna be in the next one? Okay, Xbox is the only thing I'm gonna use my Xbox for. It does a nice job streaming. So when I go to my NHL app, it does a nice job of streaming hockey games. So that's the only thing I'll use my Xbox for, unless I want to play like an old 360 game or something like that. But as far as anything new, trying to chat, trying to comment, trying to play with anybody, don't look for me on Xbox. I will not be on Xbox anymore. So any games that come out, like my Ghost Recon friends that are on Xbox, sorry, not going to play with you anymore. Ain't going to happen. So I played NHL 20.
Viva the revolution!
Viva the Reva freaking Lucian, right? So as far as the NHL 20 goes, it was pretty similar to last year's. The only difference was you could actually now play the old legends. There's 200 legends in the game. And last year they were in the game, but you couldn't play them. They were in some weird mode that would spawn them once in a while. Now, there's part of the alumni team. So when you go to set rosters, you can say, take this guy and put him on this team. So I actually went in, there were so many legends for the Boston Bruins. I took all the Bruins, dumped them off the team, and put all the legends on the team. So now in that game, which I'll never play again on the Xbox, all the Bruins are legends, and they're running around with no helmets, and they're old guys, and it's awesome. But, yeah, so that was the only thing that was different, but I played on the second easiest mode, and I was down 2-0 in the first minute of the game, so I can't play those games. I just can't. As much as I want to play the Legends, no. So for me, NHL, I mean, if it goes on sale, $20, $15, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas, I might pick it up just to play some of the Legends. I mean, I've been watching the video. They have a new display and a new setup and new announces. It's fine. You know, playing the Legends is fine, but I'm not going to drop $60 in this game. It's just, yeah, I'll wait till it comes out on sale. So I play a little bit of NHL 20, but Xbox, you suck. You do.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. I just get more disappointed in Xbox. Every time I hadn't turned it on in so long. That's why I had the update. And I really only like to go back and play the 360 games that are backwards compatible. That's the fun thing about the Xbox. But as far as, it just, and then I was reading about Borderlands 3, how that was overheating and shutting down a lot of Xboxes. So, and it's not doing that nearly as much on the PS4. So I don't know what it is about the Xbox. I don't know, people. Yeah, all the comments here. Yeah, it's been a while since I had a rant. I'm having a busy week. I'm having a bad week. I'm having a bad week at work. My phone, now I get a half-hour battery life out of my phone. And I just wanted to stream a video for the new show. And you think that I could do that on the Xbox, which talked about all this interactivity and streaming, and you can get feeds from the moon if you want to on this thing. And yet I can't stream a video and share it with anybody. But I can get comments, so you can comment on my video. You just can't see the fucking thing. What is... Nick, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. I've been actually playing a lot of phone games.
Yeah, I can play for a half hour.
What?
That's about all I can play for. But if you like, we can play something.
What do you have?
I have an iPhone, but the new update, it condenses the battery down to a half hour.
Which iPhone, though? Like 6, 7?
The SE. I have the SE.
Which SE? X?
Okay.
6?
SE.
iPhone 6?
It's SE. It's
okay. It is the.
It's like the 5C.
I was thinking, sorry, XL. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had an issue with battery life, but I have noticed that I've been unable to connect to the Bluetooth in my car with my iPhone. Every time I do, it works for 30 seconds and then disconnects.
Have you tried the new update? Have you tried the new update? That might solve all your problems, Nick. You'll connect for 15 seconds now. No problem.
I already got the update. I got the 13 update because it comes with Apple Arcade. I had to get the update. But yeah, then after that, maybe I'll just hold off. But the games on Apple Arcade are actually really, really good.
Hey Nick, put your microphone closer to your mouth. You are really low, according to Barbara Zelickman, who says, "I'm very interested in hearing how you feel about Kingdom Come Deliverance."
I still haven't played it yet.
Put it like right next to your mouth. Put it right there.
Okay, where is the?
There it is. There it is. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's it. So I'm just gonna hold it like this.
That's fine.
Is that good?
Okay.
That's
much better.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this the whole time.
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
So,
I have been playing, of course, a bunch of Apple Arcade games, some of which are not as good as they were before, and some of which are. Although I will say about the battery, Speed Demons may be a great game, but that thing fucking sucks down battery like a tornado or a whirlpool. Like that thing will eat the phone's battery like nothing else. Whereas a lot of the other games I've played are much better about that, and they don't eat the battery like that. Um, what were the games that I told you I played? I played Assemble with Care. That is a very, very good one. I've heard a lot of good things about that one before playing it. It feels like it wants to do something like Possessions did, which is tell a story through people's possessions, but it does a much better job of it by focusing more.
Fucker.
Yeah. This is
Jesus,
Assemble with Care.
I fucking hate you too. Oh yeah, bonk 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 bonk.
Get ad block. But Assemble with Care does a much better job of that by focusing more on the story and less on the possessions.
Mm-hmm.
You are basically this traveling repair woman. You travel the world and are having fun traveling and are just making ends meet by repairing stuff for people. And when the game starts, you kind of enter this generic European town and you start repairing things for people. Sometimes it's a toy for a kid, sometimes it's a statue for what turns out to be the mayor. You end up helping this flighty cafe owner, and you end up helping this like very kind of neurotic like super put together woman that's the cafe owner's sister. And so those are the four characters that the story revolves around. And over time, as you fix each thing, you kind of learn what that thing is, what it means to them, why they have it, why they want it fixed, and then you kind of learn more about the current situation. And so the game just does a very good job of using these possessions as a jumping off point into discussing more about the characters and their situations and their relationships. So it does a much better job of actually telling the story because it actually tells a story. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but the voice acting for the main character is actually very, very good. There's like the way she enunciates every word just sounds like a ASMR video. Like playing this game is super relaxing, mainly because of her voice. But the gameplay is also really cool because the way you fix items, the game takes you through every step of that process. So if I'm going to fix a watch, I need to like choose a screwdriver and then unscrew the back of the watch and then take it off. Then I need to take off the piece with all the gears, take off the front glass. Then I need to take off each individual gear, then put back each individual gear. And I'm doing all of this manually by, touching and swiping, and using the touch screen in this really, really physical way that feels really good. And what's neat is sometimes the repairs are kind of confusing. Like I'm asked to repair this projector, and I'm like, well, I don't fucking know how projectors work. What do I do? And so you end up just kind of taking this thing apart, looking at it, and then thinking, well, okay, what part looks broken? I'll replace that. And then how do other things go together? And you kind of end up just intuiting your way into these repairs. And the game does a good job. Like you do have to go through every step. You unscrew every screw. You then rescrew every screw in, and you have to do everything like one step at a time. But the actual repairs are very simple. Like if a part is broken, you are automatically given the piece to repair that part. And so you don't really need any technical knowledge to do these repairs. It's still a game, and it's still a casual game, but it does a good job of making the repairs still feel kind of thoughtful while also being intuitive. And couple that with a very well written story and interesting characters that are kind of slowly orbiting each other.
This
And I
looks
can
like a
see how they'll
game
all
for
come together
people.
in the end.
It looks like a game for people who don't actually have a house where you have to do this shit anyway. Like, Goalie, do you want to have a job where you fix shit? like, after everything broken in your house, you fix it all. The wife's got the honeydew list. It's like, fix the coffee cup. Fix the coffee maker. Fix this, fix that. The washing machine's broken. Okay, now I'm going to sit down and play a mobile game about fixing shit.
I knew a guy that was playing a automobile fixing game. Like, you worked at a garage. It's like, dude, why would you want to be working on cars on a computer? It's like, come on.
Like I find that fixing things is actually strangely relaxing.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
the
it
other
would be
day,
for
the
somebody
cat
who
knocked
rents and
over
has a
this-
landlord that fixes their shit for them.
Yeah.
What
Well,
what
no, I'm
we
not
call that
talking
being
about
a
like
homeowner.
utilities and stuff. I'm talking about like possessions like this. Like the other day, Shepard got up onto a shelf and broke this thing of Caitlin's, and so I kind of took it into the kitchen and super glued the pieces back together, kind of what you just saw in that video.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to use like tweezers and a magnifying glass to fit all the pieces together again, and it was genuinely fun. I found it very fun to do.
You got to
So
come
this
over
is
and
very
visit my
much,
house sometime. I could really use someone
yeah,
like
you
you
got
around
some
the
shit
house.
that needs fixed. I'll I'm not part of any union, so I can give you good rates.
So, that is handled with care.
So
So,
yes,
good game.
assemble with care.
Assemble with care.
Assemble with care. It's very good.
Yeah.
I am finding it, like I said, it's not challenging. It's just a peaceful, relaxing, nice game. Like, this is just a game that you play before bed to just kind of get you ready to go to sleep. That's what this is.
Got it.
And then what were the other ones that I sent you a list of that I had played?
We have word laces.
Oh yeah, Wood Laces. Wood Laces is cool because this is an example, a perfect example of what makes the Apple Arcade games better than like the other games from on iOS. It's a puzzle game from the makers of Bonza, which is like this crossword jigsaw puzzle game that like might be one of the best puzzle games on any mobile platform ever. So Bonza's great. Wood Laces, you have a picture and you'll be given like a series of letters underneath it, and you have to lace up those letters in a way that no Edie, this is chess. Come on.
It was there. God damn it. I fucking hate YouTube
I know.
sometimes.
I'm just teasing
Of course,
you.
now it's all
Ad
giving
block,
me
motherfucker,
fucking
ad
video.
block.
Shut up. Shut up. Just shut
Spend
up.
the $10 a
Um,
month and get the ads taken off. I spend so
But
much
just
time on
get
YouTube.
ad
That was the
block.
best.
That's what I do.
The best $10 I ever spent. Yeah, here's my $10.
But
Don't show
so
any ads.
you'll be given a picture, and then underneath it, there's a series of like icons that have letters on them. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 1, occasionally 3. And you have to lace up those letters by, dragging your finger across the screen, basically linking them together to try to form a word that describes something in the picture. So in the video, there's someone holding a bunch of balloons. And so you might look at the letters and go, sky, because you can see sky, or balloons, or you might have something that says string. And so, you're just trying to figure out words based on what you're seeing in the picture. What's really cool about the game is that because it's called Word Laces, the whole premise involves you lacing up the words, which means you're always zigzagging from the left column to the right column. And you will always do this. I'm like 150 levels in, and you are always lacing from left to right, which means there's kind of this innate hint system in the game. Because if I'm going to start on one corner, the next letter is always going to be on the right. And so sometimes if I've been confused, I've just like tapped a letter and just started zigzagging across the screen to form nonsense words. But occasionally in that nonsense, there might be, meant. Okay, meant. That's part of an actual word. What could come before meant? Blah, 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 instrument. Okay, there we go. And so the fact that you are always zigzagging from left to right or right to left, the fact that you always have to cross that middle gap makes it easier to figure things out when you're stumped. Because, like I said, there's just this innate hint system. There's this pattern to how the words are structured and formed that you can always rely on. But what makes it really good and what makes it an example of how Apple Arcades are better is there's also actual hints. At the bottom of the screen, there's a little light bulb, and if you're stuck, you can tap that light bulb and it will show you a link, one letter to the next letter. And if you're still stumped, you can click it again and it'll give you another hint. And you click it again and you get another hint. And you can do that an infinite number of times. This is absolutely the kind of game that if it was not on Apple Arcade would have a get a hint for watching a 30-second ad type of mechanic. Or it would be buy 100 hints for $5 or something like that. Those hints would totally be microtransactioned the hell up in any other mobile platform. But here, they are not. Just click that hint button with wild abandon and not feel bad at all because I get infinite hints. And it's so nice just to have a game like this with infinite hints because, some of the levels and some of the woods get really tricky. And the fact that nothing is locked behind a fucking microtransaction or ad is really, really cool. And it feels like the promise of Apple Arcade kept and proven.
Nice. I saw this and I thought, I don't know about these kind of games. Barbara says, I like these word games. They keep the brain healthy. This one looks cool. AC Wraith says, I still have Alpha Bear installed on my phone. I have to admit, I haven't used
Alpha
the
Bear was
device
fun.
for anything other than videos, though. But I originally saw this when I was looking up the video to include on the feed, and it looked neat, but I was like, I don't know about it. And then the more I am watching it, the more I realize that this gets really freaking hard as you get farther in. Like it looked
Yeah,
really easy when I
especially-
started, and then I realized, oh gosh, I would get stuck on a lot of those
That's
things. So
'cause
it's
the
nice to
first-
know.
The first couple levels are easy.
Yeah. So yeah, that is word laces.
Yeah,
and
Great
then
game. And if to Barbara, if you like word games, I would highly recommend Bonza. Bonza. It's another game from those same developers, and it's really excellent.
I play Bonza, but it's not a word game.
you had to really reach for that one, Goalie. That one was a little too far. That
That's
was
how
one
the
of
game.
those.
That's
where
how the
you, like,
game's played.
You reach for something and you fall over.
That's how the game's played.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, Goalie.
And
Yeah.
then oh wait,
Go ahead.
I played more shit.
This is all you told me.
No, I gave
And
you more.
Goalie didn't use any of the games that he actually told me he had played. And you are using a bunch of games
No,
you don't even
NHL
remember.
20. I said I played NHL 20. I said
Did
that
you?
on the list.
He sent
No,
me
you-
NHL 20. He
All
did.
right.
And we haven't got the
I got
Borderlands
those
yet.
texts.
Or Stratomatic Hockey, which I found a freaking video for.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk
Well,
about
anyways,
it. That's the one's next done.
I'll be short because the other game I played was Card of Darkness, which is it's another puzzle game. It involves you going from the bottom of the screen to the top and trying to like fight your way through stacks of cards, and the cards is kind of roguelike-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The cards might have enemies, they might have swords, they might have potions, and there's a lot of mechanics involved in like you figuring out the best path to get from the bottom to the top and through these stacks of cards. It's okay. It's gotten to the point. What's nice is that it's not all roguelike-y in that if I fail a level, I just start that level over again. Like I don't get booted back to the beginning of the game. But each level is random, and what's in the stacks of cards is random, and it's all a random number generator. And so sometimes you can get into a level that just utterly fucks you over, where the first row that you have to get through is filled with enemies and no potions or weapons. And so you just like get hit, and then you're fucked. And in some of the levels, there are like stages where you have to get through multiple sections in order to beat it. and that means you just have that many more times to get fucked by the random number generator. So in the beginning, it was really fun, but as the levels get longer and more complex, and the randomness becomes a much bigger factor in survival, it becomes more frustrating. Um, the art is nice. It's from the guy who does Adventure Time, Pendleton Ward. So everything looks real cute and charming. Um, but yeah, it gets to a point that I'm like, this is bullshit.
Okay.
So that's Caught of Darkness. And then I finished Control. I beat Control, and Control is so good. The story is really good. The boss fights are all bullshit.
It's
I've
going to be
never had a boss fight that
Black
I
Friday.
enjoyed.
Black Friday buy.
That's a good buy. Just keep in mind that yeah, the boss fights are all bullshit. They're all unnecessarily difficult, and I never had one that I really enjoyed. But the story is good, the character's good, the mood and atmosphere, it's just oozing with this cool, spooky X-Files, like no sleep Reddit atmosphere that totally makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
I really
The
love
video looked
Control.
good
This
that
game
we watching.
I was yeah, I highly recommend Control. And now that I finished it for Barbara, I'm finally gonna start Kingdom Come.
Good. Good. Um.
Barbara was she's looking for this game, and a friend of mine went into a local Target over here, and he found a whole bunch of bargain games, and he found that Kingdom Come game, but it was for the Xbox, but he found it for like $2.60.
Oh wow, that's a
And-
good deal.
No, it's an
Wow,
unbelievable
really?
deal. It's an unbelievable. He showed me. He took a picture of all these games he bought at Target, and they were all $5 and under, and it was all these somewhat big name games, and that was one of them. But it was for the Xbox. It wasn't for PS4. So she went out, and I guess her Target didn't have it. But yeah, he lucked out buying all these games for a couple of
Damn.
bucks. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But,
So Stratomatic.
All right,
You wanna
yeah.
talk
So
about it?
yeah, so Stratomatic Hockey, it's a board game, but it also is a crossover. And a little segue, Edie was on the Digital to Dice podcast last week with us as we talked crossover games that board games that go to PC and PC games that go to board games. And Stratomatic Hockey, they have a PC version of the game. And they also have these helpers. A lot of these board games I play have these. They're called Excel helpers. They show up in Excel, and most of them are free. And so I was playing online with my friend. We called up the Excel helper, and you see all the hockey cards. You have to have the cards. The cards on the table are the players. Okay, as you're watching the video here, but the cards on the side that you flip over, they're the action cards. That's what the Excel helper does. The Excel helper flips the action cards and tells you what it said. So it'll say like left defenseman outside shot. So you go to the left defenseman and look in the outside shot column and read what it says on the card. So you still need the cards to play, but the game itself is kind of played on the computer and it saves a little bit of space on your table. And we were having a blast with that. And it keeps all the stats for you too, which you have to do manually if you're playing obviously on the tabletop. So if you got a shot on net, you click a shot on net. If you got a goal, you click on a goal, and it factors in the time and everything, all done for you in this Excel helper. So I'm finding that these little board games are fun, but they integrate with the computer sometimes as well too. So you can get kind of the best of both worlds here. So yeah, I'm finding that I'm having a lot of fun. Playing some of these games, especially Stratomatic Hockey, where they integrate with the computer, and you can almost play the entire game right on the computer. You still need some of the cards, as I said, but it's fun. It is. It's like because I could play with my friend online. Because if he had a set of cards and I had a set of cards, I mean, you're on the honor system, obviously reading on the card, but I mean, it's you can play it over, and you can. We were both watching the screen to see what we were checking for, and who if it was going to be a goal, and then we write down the goal, and then it was just a lot of fun, just chilling out playing these games here. A lot less stressful than the NHL 20. And so games like this is old man stuff, and I really like it because I can sit back and you see the video we have here of the guy playing on the table. You could set that up here in your desktop, and you could just go off and go to bed. and come up in the morning and grab a cup of coffee and get right back into the game where you left off. You know, you don't have to worry about saving anything like on the computer or anything like that. It's just you just leave it out like a chess game. You know, when you just leave all the pieces in place. So yeah, playing a lot of
It's a perfect save state.
It is. It is. Although sometimes I'll get distracted and I'm like, oh boy, you know, who had the puck? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? Where was I? Where was the face off? So sometimes I do forget, but it's really fun. In fact, the guy in the video here, I've talked to him quite a bit. He's given me a lot of help on how to play the game. And there's 3 versions: there's basic, advanced, and super advanced. And oh boy, the super advanced gets quite in depth as far as the stuff you're reading and cards and comparing numbers and. It's I like the basic version. It's nice and simple. Nice and simple. But yeah, so I played some Stratomatic hockey. More Star Wars Battlefront 2. I talked last week about the update that they had for the co-op mode where you can now go after the points A, B, and C with humans fighting against the AI, a P versus E, I guess you would call it. So I'm enjoying that. I still go back, and when I want to shoot some things, I go play some Star Wars Battlefront. I go to the co-op mode. I wish they would do that with the space mode. I wish you could go in and just play the AI in space, because the AI is usually nowhere near as good as humans, and I have a lot more fun that way, and that's how I have my fun, so I do it. So Star Wars Battlefront 2, that new co-op mode is great. And lastly, Borderlands 3. I had some big boss battle last night, Edie. It was the first vault. The first vault boss battle.
You finally got the boss battle. In fact, I've got video gameplay of me playing it. So,
did you use Mixer by chance on the Xbox?
No, I did not.
No, you did. You should try that. I heard it works real well.
No, I'm gonna pass. Thank you. I will just have the salad.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try to get some more footage going on the PS4 as well. So I did the I don't know how I would stream the GameHounds vids. I guess I don't think I could, because I have my my account logged in with PS4. But yeah, I did that first boss battle that at the vault. That was fun. Boy, what a battle that was. I just ran around. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just kept running around. I kept getting knocked down, and
first boss battle is actually pretty challenging. Considering that you are underpowered, there's a couple of them that are no fucking joke.
I kept going into my mech, you know what I mean? That's all I was doing, and it was like saying
of first bosses being really hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it kept saying resist. Like I'd be shooting my rockets, and it's like resist.
Right,
resist.
It's like, resistant. It's resistant to the elemental portion of your weapon, but it isn't necessarily resistant to your the actual bullets. So you're still doing damage sometimes. It's just the element is.
Because I was nailing it with the mech. I have these rocket launches on my mech now that does a nice job. And you know what's good too about my mech character is I have it set up now that after I run out of fuel, the mech sits there and will still shoot for like 15 seconds at enemies. And I can get up in the gunner chair for 15 seconds and start shooting at enemies. So
nice.
It's a nice little perk there. So I was like, oh, the mech's still standing there. Oh, I can get in the gunner seat, and I get on top. I just started killing people with it until it finally disappeared. So that mech is really fun. But boy, that comes in handy. Let me tell you, that boss battle, I got like my shield was gone. I was getting one hit, and my shield was gone. And then I'd be down to like 10 health. And so you just get back in the mech, and that lets the shield recharge. So it's a good way to extend your life a little bit. But I got through that boss battle there in the first vault, and still haven't found any good guns. I got some nice guns, but I have not found anything that's totally blown me away.
Yeah, I actually finished the game. This is towards the end of the game, and I actually finished it on my main, and it is
okay.
The story is good. I was talking to Creation Chaos about it, and here's an important thing that he brought up is that in Borderlands 2, you had Handsome Jack, but you really didn't see Handsome Jack very much. He wasn't around, so he was more of a villain just simply because you didn't see him much. You had to infer stuff. He talked to you a lot, but you didn't see him.
Yeah.
In this one, the main villains, Troy and I forget what her name, Troy Calypso and I forget her name. They're twins. You see them all the time, and it creates a very big problem with the story in that if you're seeing them all the time and they've killed a number of sirens, why haven't they killed you? Like, they keep on talking about how they hate you, they call you the vault thief, etc. But they have numerous opportunities to see you, but they never actually try and kill you. Except at the very end when you're actually fighting them as a boss battle. So it creates a problem with the story in that they're focusing on killing this person or that person or the other person or doing damage to that other person or taking that person's powers away from them so they can't fight, but they never do anything to you. Not that I'm complaining, because that would make
I did notice that in that the vault battle, they showed up and they did their spiel and they're like, you ain't leaving this vault alive anyway. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, let's go.
Right.
Just all this talk about how you're gonna, rip me apart and I'm gonna die here, and
why didn't you try? I'm standing right here.
All good things come to an end. I'm here. Do it now. Kill me. I'm here. All right, let's go. And just like, okay, just whatever.
So, but the gameplay, of course, is butter. It's so much fun. The end game gameplay, I have now hit end game, and yeah, it's just as fun at the end of the game after you've finished. I'm still playing my original character, my first character, but as you get in it takes a while to find a gun that's butter. This gun in particular was total butter. I loved this gun. I kept this gun way after I should have kept it because it was so awesome.
I got one pistol I'm at level 25, and this is a level 13 pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you reload, it throws it and explodes.
Right. Yeah, that's Tidior or whatever it is.
And I keep going back. The only thing is a double-edged sword, because if you go to reload and you're next to something, it hits and blows up and you lose your shield. So you really need to be in the open to use this gun.
Right. That's actually a perk that comes with that brand of gun. All of their guns do that.
Because I all my boss battles, I take 2 shots with a pistol because it's very low damage, and then I reload and it throws it, and 2 shots and throw it, and 2 shots, reload, throw it, and that's kind of how it does. And when I was playing with you that night, that's all I was doing was throwing the damn pistol, and it was blowing up, but I was doing a lot of damage.
Yeah. So look for another one of the same brand, and you'll have that same thing.
All right. So here's the big question. So you finished Borderlands 3. All right. How do you, I don't want to say compare it, but which one do you think you like better, 2 or 3, and why?
2. 2, mostly for the story. This story doesn't hang together as well as it should. But this one is certainly very, very good. Bottom line, comes down to the story.
I found that I liked the gameplay in 2 a little bit better. I liked the story better. I laughed more. I
think I like the characters better too. The skills are okay, but they're not fabulous.
Yeah, just so many times you would like the stupid missions you would do, like the one when you went to the town and the people were really sick, and you went and you tried to test the rocket on the shield, and you launched the rocket and you killed the jerk that was in the town. His name was Dave, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, now let's try it with the shield up. That was hysterical because you launched the rocket and she purposely did it to kill this guy. And it's like, okay, that works out well. Now let's try it with the shield. And just there was so many little moments like that. You just laughed out loud, and just all the little individual missions seem to have their own story behind it. And this one here, I'm not feeling it. Stuff just feels fetch questy, and I'm just not. Even the main story, I'm not really getting what the story is. It's just okay. There's some bad people, and they did this, and it's like, but the angry Jack there was he was just this jerk, and
Jack, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is fine. It plays fine, and I'm having my fun with it, but when I'm done with this, I probably will go back and play Borderlands 2 from the beginning again. I just liked it so much better.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What they
Even
did
if it
do nice
was-
though, the co-op though, where everybody gets their own loot, that is a vast improvement. That is,
Oh, yeah.
that is Diablo 3-esque, and that was brilliant. That's one thing that 2 didn't have. It was first come, first served.
and
to the
climbing.
loot.
It didn't have climbing either. And
Yeah,
the verticality of the game they've done a really nice job with the maps, making them nice and vertical.
Yeah, there's been a few things like that were kind of fun. So the couple additions that are really nice, but I still think I like 2 a little better.
Yep. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking at my own gameplay, criticizing it in my head. So yeah, that's Borderlands. What else have we got to talk about? Oh, the Patreon. Oh my gosh. Let me pull that up. Stand by. The Patreon, very important. If you haven't, by the way, we are also now multi-streaming on Facebook. We have a stream going on YouTube. We have a stream going on Facebook Live. So if you're joining us with Facebook Live, thank you very much. There's a lot of people on YouTube, but we've got a couple people on Facebook Live. Tevar, no, that's YouTube. That's Goalie. There's a couple people watching us on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us on the feed. And if you're listening on Spreaker, also thank you. But we are, in order to subsidize the cost for the video feed, which I think is pretty cool, that we can actually show you the game.
We might actually have to
talking about it.
Subsidize the Google $10 fee to avoid those ads at the beginning.
Well,
Seriously, if we can get enough in Patreon, buy that. I
Right.
have that, and I don't get any ads when I do it.
But we do have a Patreon running, and we launched that last week. And we have Patreon patrons. So I wanted to take a moment to thank them. Stand by. I'm looking for where that is. We have a permanent, you will hear about him every single week, Michael Underwood. Thank you so much for being a sponsor of the feed. That's Ikaruga. In fact, we've hung out with him, Nick, at PAX.
Yeah,
Thank
Oh,
you for your $10 pledge.
he's cool.
Andy Shao, who is a longtime listener, has also pledged to us. Thank you, as well as Sean Cullen. And even though the $1 pledge is the all we ask, I might as well throw it in since he was the 4th patron. We is pledged for $1. Thank you. This is a monthly charge that is essentially keeps us going. And the Patreon right now, we are at $19. Our goals, just so you know, our goal is $25 a month, as you can see here, $25 a month that will allow us to reliably add this video feed to every show. And for $27 a month, we can get Nick a fucking webcam.
Bump it up to 35, and let's get
Hey,
that
I
the
already
YouTube.
bought a webcam. I bought one earlier this morning.
No,
All
Nick
right.
is not
Just wanna
getting
make sure I
funded
had a
for a
good one.
webcam. No, Nick can buy his own damn webcam. I
Okay.
bought my own.
Nick can buy his own webcam.
Buy your
I
own
can-
damn cam. Put the money
buy my
towards
own
the
webcam.
streaming services.
Okay, we'll put it through towards the streaming.
I need it for
towards
my cocaine and hookers.
So, everyone, thank you so much for donating to make this feed stays part of the show. So Michael Underwood, thank you. Andy Shao, Sean Cullen, and Lemon of Truth, thank you.
You also wait. You got to do it in the metric voice.
Oh, that's right, fucking Michael Underwood, motherfucker. Thank you, asshole.
I like the honk at the end.
Welcome to GameHounds. Go fuck yourself. So, yes, Michael Underwood, thank you. Edie says thank you. Don Matrix says fuck off. I don't know where this is. If you're new to GameHounds, you have to go back many, many, many episodes. You okay, Nick? You okay there?
Sorry, I tried to hold the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, you just held it up to your neck, so it was super loud.
No,
Um,
I held it. Anyways, that
You
was
just-
my Matrick.
that was your
my Matrick
Don-
impression. Yes.
So, many, many, many moons ago, many episodes, we Don Matrick back in the launch of the Xbox One. So, yeah, you'll just have to go back to the ED doing Don Matrick imitations to truly appreciate it. Longtime listeners will appreciate. So, other than that, thank you again. And other than that, anything else we want to talk about before we hit the news, gentlemen?
Let me see. Did I tell
Gully?
you about
Nick?
my
Gully?
phone
That's all I
problems?
played.
Gully?
My phone
I
problem.
Gully?
did get a new computer, so there's that.
When do you
But
get
I
your
don't
new
have
computer
webcam
set
yet.
up with the webcam so we can be
I-
better than you are now?
Yeah.
When?
Sometime next week.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
Alright.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. So on that note, shall we by the way, Facebook feed, we do have Andre Labar. Oh, that's AC Wraith, although I think he's also looking. He's on it. Corey Wallace is in there. So we've got a number of people in the Facebook chat or Facebook feed. And yes, I also want to point out the Patreon website. If you want to look for us on Patreon, it would be Patreon at GameHounds. Patreon.com/GameHounds. Please sponsor us so that we can actually keep going this. We have 1 month. And as a little bit of a stretch goal right now, because Patreon has started multi-streaming just this week, they have reduced the price for a limited time until October 20th. It gives us a slightly cheaper deal. We get it, and it's for lifetime. So if we do it before October 20th, if we reach our goal by October 20th, then we can actually get this feed cheaper. And that would be great. That would be fantastic. We would appreciate that. So if you haven't done it this last week, please go to Patreon and help us sponsor this feed. All right. Now should we hit the news?
Yeah, let's do some news.
All right. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds News, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie, Holly Gully, and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is...
Oh, well, this is one I sent to you, Edie. This is the breaking news that we have here. Yeah, in a major blow to Sony's upcoming PlayStation 5, Microsoft has announced the name of their new console will be the PlayStation 6.
That's some canny naming right there.
Yeah.
Well thought out.
Did you see that? It was actually an Onion
It was an
article.
Onion
It was an
article.
Onion article, but it still was hilarious. It's like Xbox new console will be called PlayStation 6.
And you
I
know
think
what?
that's great.
You may have sent it to me, but I am not seeing it anywhere. Gully. Oh, there we go. I see it. All right. So I still am not seeing it. I see Atari Architect, PS4 screens, Rare Spawn.
I don't think I sent you the Onion article. That was just a fake one that we don't have to post. But yeah, so I didn't read the full article, but it just the headlines just said it all because you don't. And that would be something Microsoft would do because they just I don't know, they keep going backwards in numbers. I don't know what they would call the next one, Xbox Zero. I don't know.
They might.
Anyway.
That's not a bad one.
Anyway.
So anybody have any real news?
Yeah. And bad news, right off the from the GameHounds website. I picked this one up on a GameHounds Facebook page. PS4 is no longer gonna allow you to post directly to Facebook. What is the deal with that? I just got done a rant on the Xbox. Why you can't do anything with the Xbox. But yeah, off the GameHounds page. The article it says that on Destructoid, I think it says you can no longer share PS4 screens or videos to Facebook. Yes, there's the article right there. It's like, what is the deal with that? As of October 7th, so it's already gone by. I used to, you know what I loved this for? Okay, and actually, if Barbara's still in the chat, we would play games. I think we were playing Assassin's Creed, a while back, and I would find something, and I would send her a screenshot, like on Facebook. I would take the screen capture of the game I was playing, put it on Facebook, so she could see like where I was in the game or what I was, doing, or how my character looked, and that was so much fun. And there was certain things I would find, like shots in the game, even with Horizon Zero Dawn, and I would be like, boy, that is a beautiful picture. Or you go into photo mode in these games and you take a picture and it's like, wow, I want that on my Facebook page. Or a quick video of a funny goal in a hockey game. I don't get it. What is the deal with that? That was such a great feature to have. Just one button, click, Facebook, boing, gone. And
So
there it was.
did you read the article as to why it happened?
I
Or
did
you
actually.
just read the headline?
No, I actually read through some of it, and it had to do with some of the Facebook issues was what their privacy and their it was just really weird that it was like more of a technicality than anything else. It was like, come on.
I feel like
According,
this is just another example of a bunch of tech things lately about restricting competitors. Like I heard Disney will ban all Netflix ads on any of its television stations. The Xbox, like having only the mixer,
that's a different situation. I
but
think.
there's also Xbox having only the mixer. PlayStation not allowing you to stream to Facebook.
Mhm.
It's just easy to restrict these other apps on there because they probably want you to stream using...
totally different issues. Totally different issues.
Are they?
One is people not wanting to put stuff on their article, on their system that is a competitor. That makes one kind of sense. The reason why Facebook is not going to be on both Xbox and also on PlayStation is because Facebook has pulled them because of privacy issues. Facebook is
Wait.
Facebook is the one that's keeping you off Xbox. It's not
Facebook
Xbox keeping you off
willingly
Facebook.
pulled it. Did
Yes.
Facebook pulled it because they claim there are privacy issues with
It
Sony
is
and Microsoft?
because Facebook is under a lot of scrutiny from the federal government, not just the United States, but also other governments about privacy. They are pulling, and I am reading this from TechCrunch, one of the consequences of the FTC's investigation of Facebook, which has culminated in a record $5 billion settlement, is it's finally tightening another string in its privacy policy by cutting off access to friend data for Microsoft and Sony, the company announced. It's described as having allowed them to access up to now as our mistake after limiting similar access for about 10 other companies at the end of the year. It also noted that it has, quote, not found evidence that any data was used in violation of our policies as a result of the continuing access. So Facebook is making changes after it received a massive fine. And part of those changes is that it is limiting Xbox access, not Xbox canceling the access to Facebook. It's coming from the other direction. This is why you have to read the articles, goalie.
I did read it. I didn't I was reading. I was like, I knew it wasn't. It was something like that. It was because Facebook's having all kinds of privacy issues.
Right.
So I knew that it was coming from Facebook, but it's just the idea that it sucks because I use that feature a lot. A real lot, because so you used to find, like I said, find some really cool screenshots in the game or things you want to share. Although a lot of my videos were banned by Facebook. Seriously, hockey videos, just Call of Duty videos, not even the nudie booby things, just regular gameplay. I shot on net in a goal, or I had a flamethrower and I went in and I flamethrowed all these guys, and it was a hilarious video. And they shut it down, and I fought it. And I says, hey, why'd you shut it down? They looked into it. They shut it down again. And so a third time I went in and said, hey, this is just video game stuff here. There's nothing. This is just whatever. And they finally would allow it after a third, time. I would, go back and say, hey, what's the deal? But yeah, it was just really weird that a hockey video of NHL 19 or NHL 18, just slap shot, score, goalie get knocked over, funny video. It was 18 seconds long, and I was like, yeah, this video's been flagged. What? And then we looked at it again. No, still. Then what? Oh, okay. Sorry. We looked at it a third time, and yeah, you're fine.
Okay,
It was really. I had to go back 3 or 4 times and say, no, please review this again. Review this again. And then finally they did, but it was really stupid stuff that it's like, wow. So I knew they were having some issues for a while then. That's too bad because I still, it's so easy. You get a video and just throw it up on Facebook and you can share it with everybody. Share it with here, but. So now I don't know. I don't know where and if it's gonna have where it was, like I think it was Heartbreak Ridge said he's gonna have to go to Twitter. Go to Twitter first, share it to Twitter, and then pull it down from there. I guess.
Possibly. Well, here's what prompted it, and I'm reading a little bit farther. So Microsoft and Sony, because they have had for many generations of these of their consoles, access the API, which allowed people to access, or Facebook people to post information, have these third-party companies have access to your Facebook data, your friends' Facebook data, a bunch of other data. There was a bunch of old code that was supporting these experiences that had vulnerabilities. And Facebook's VP of product partnership said that a third party recently alerted the company to a bug within that old API, quote unquote, which led us to investigate and find that unfortunately our code base had enabled continued data access for some of these partners who didn't have contracts with them anymore. So essentially it was not to say bad code, but code that was outdated, that was still being used by Facebook and by Xbox and by Sony. So he said this old code supporting known experiences for people, such as being able to use Facebook on an earlier generation PlayStation, PS3 or Vita, or to sync to their friends' contact information with another service. Based on our previous commitments, we are ending these partners' access to friend data immediately. This was our mistake, and we are correcting it. So it had to do with old code, old API code, concerns about a bug that might have compromised your privacy, contracts that they are having, the old contracts that expired that were not renewed, and then on top of that, this fine issue of trying to lock down on privacy where they're really looking hard at their code. That's why Facebook is no longer on Xbox or PlayStation.
It still
that's
sucks.
going to change. It's going to change as soon as Xbox and PlayStation update their code and get everything gets kosher across all boards. But until that happens, it's disabled.
What do you think will happen first? Do you think they'll get that squared away, or Nick will get a webcam?
Nick already has a webcam, according to Nick.
Yeah.
Do I? No, I bought one.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's here.
It's on order. It's on back
That
order.
means it's on its way.
Oh, did you order it from Amazon or something?
Of course.
So anyway, that's why that happened.
It sucks. I hope they do fix it because that was so nice. It really was. Just integrating that right into social media.
Barbara says Facebook needs to look into fake shit first. This is BS.
It's all fake.
Yeah, but
it's all fake.
They didn't hit a $4 billion fine for fake shit. They got a $4 billion fine for privacy issues. So it's where you go where the money is.
But stop sharing the fake shit. It'll go away.
You can just take out an ad.
But everyone's sharing the fake shit.
Nick, you're still way muffled, by the way.
It's right here.
Put it closer.
It's right in my face.
Yeah.
Right there? Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah.
You can hear me. You can hear me. How do I sound? This
sounds better. Way better.
I've got a fucking harmonica.
The other alternative is that, well, I mean, if you'd been on earlier, we could have tested to put your use the iMic. No, this is not better because then you're just breathing into the mic, dude. No.
Okay,
that's
I'll
not
just hold my breath as I talk.
Yes. Well, just don't breathe out of your nose and go.
I'm gonna start cutting myself. I am.
Anyways,
Anyway, anybody else have any items?
You see this
I
stapler
do have
right
a
here?
big story.
I'm gonna take this
There's
stapler. I'm just gonna start stapling my face.
As long as it's on, no, as long as it's live, I'm okay with that.
I will pay to see that.
Yeah, I would too.
No, but some actual big shit kind of went down with Blizzard and Hearthstone. So they had a tournament recently, and where's all the details? Okay, a tournament recently, and the Asia Pacific Grandmasters. And during the broadcast, one of the players, Blitzchung, and two casters were banned because Blitzchung he basically said support for the Hong Kong protests. And after that, Blizzard came down hard on that, of all things. They basically banned Blitzchung from Hearthstone tournaments for a year. Any winnings he got from the tournament were now suspended, and Blizzard would stop working with the two broadcasters who were with him. As a result of this, everyone is shitting on Blizzard for good reason. Jason Schreier from Kotaku, who does a lot of good reporting, actually had a tweet that he had heard Blizzard was planning a lot of big announcements at BlizzCon, which happens November 1st, to make up for the shit from last year when they announced Diablo Mobile at the end and pissed off a lot of people. But this will probably overshadow all of their big announcements that they had planned, so they shot themselves in the foot there. Like you put up on the screen, U.S. lawmakers are now criticizing Blizzard for, bending over for China's censorship. Which the thing is, like, China owns, like, I think they own 5% of Blizzard.
A Chinese company, not China itself.
Tencent does. Yeah, Tencent does. But I mean, come on, Chinese company, China, it's almost the same. But yeah, Tencent is a big part of Blizzard or Activision. And also, like, China is a very huge player base for them too.
Massive
like, all of Blizzard's games are huge in China. And so, you have a U.S. company bending over for Chinese censorship. And it's interesting to see how divisive this has become, because there's a statue outside of Blizzard that actually has like inspirational sayings around it. And one of them is like, think globally and every voice matters. And angry employees have actually gone out and covered up those steps of the statue at Blizzard. Epic, because, it's always good to take advantage when your competitor stumbles. Epic has come out and said that they would never ban players for political speech for Fortnite. So, and so far Blizzard has had no additional comment beyond their initial ban. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this, because it is really blown up in their face. And so far they have not responded to any of that pushback.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on with China right now. Yeah, with the NBA, like Heartbreak Ridge said, with South Park 7 a little.
What was going on with South Park?
Oh, you got to keep up on this stuff.
Shit, I didn't hear about this. The
Hong Kong protests are the
I know about the protests, but I don't know about the NBA.
Yeah, it a lot of the criticism by the Hong Kong people of the Hong Kong government, which is essentially Chinese government, has created a real problem for the NBA because a number of players have expressed support for it. But the NBA is, well, first off, they want to go globally. They are heavily not physically invested, but they have invested a lot of money in expanding the NBA's reach into China. On top of that, a lot of players have shoe deals, and China is very important when it comes to making of product like shoes and apparel and things that Nike, so Adidas, all of these other companies that are make athletic apparel, and a lot of these players have deals with them. So it's let's just say it is the click that a lot of companies are, especially that are big corporations that have lots of little famous people involved in them, like sports or esports or anything else, that they step on it and they hear the click and they're like, fuck, there's no way to win this. I either piss off the Chinese government, which is important, or I piss off the player base or the fans, especially in the United States, regarding free speech. So it's a lot of companies are kind of stuck in this situation.
And I'm reading about South Park. Apparently, they had an episode that criticized Hollywood shaping its stuff for China, and as a result, China banned literally every episode and clip. Wow! And you know what?
Good luck to them doing that.
Credit to the South Park creators' credit, they offered like a real tongue-in-cheek apology that was like, we welcome China, like the NBA, we welcome Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts. So man, I gotta catch up on South Park.
Yeah, they're awesome. All right.
So
any other items?
Shit, Blizzard in China. Yeah, I have a couple like nicer ones, happier ones.
Okay.
If it pleases the court.
Small news. The Outer Wilds, which is not to be mistaken with the Outer Worlds, which is the Fallout-esque game coming to consoles in like next month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Outer Wilds is a indie game that came out on Xbox's Game Pass to like pretty high critical acclaim. It's like the space exploration game where you're kind of stuck in this 20-minute time loop. And it is finally coming out to PS4 on October 15th. I thought it would take a lot longer for something like this to come out on PlayStation because usually it was originally exclusive to Game Pass. And usually games like that take a very long time to transfer over. So the fact that this one has in just a couple months, because the game came out over the summer, is surprising, but in a happy surprise. So I'm actually very looking forward to this.
Nice.
High critical indie acclaim game coming out on PlayStation.
Do we know what it's about or what it's like?
Yeah, it's a space exploration game where you're stuck in this 20-minute time loop. So you kind of have 20 minutes to explore parts of the universe, and then you learn about different mysteries, and you kind of gather clues about what's going on in the universe. And then every 20 minutes, you kind of reset back, and then you can go off and explore another section to learn more clues. It's a lot like other games have done this before, where they've kind of had a time limit on things, and that you can choose to go and do them within the time limit. It's like Dead Rising, but that game had a much more strict time limit, and it was like a huge, 30-hour game that had those sorts of time limits. This is very much about you going out and exploring, learning things, and then kind of restarting with this new and more expansive knowledge at your disposal. So like you might spend one run discovering a hidden door, then your next run you can go straight to that door and then start trying to puzzle out how to open it.
Got it.
Type of thing.
But you only have 20 minutes at a time to continue what you're doing.
Yes.
That seems kind of
I've also
annoying.
heard like just the universe. No, the way I've heard it is that it's like very cool. The universe is small enough that like you can get anywhere. Obviously, you can get anywhere within it within 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But in other news, Doom Eternal has been delayed. It was originally going to come out this year, and it has been delayed to March 20th, 2020. So if you're looking to shoot up demons this year, unfortunately, you won't be able to.
Do we know why it's been delayed? Did they say?
Not really, just a general, hey, we want to make the game better.
And they just said 2020 or
March 20th.
March 20th.
Which, funny enough, is the same day as the new Animal Crossing. So
I something tells me that they're not the same market. No. That would be awesome.
No?
If you could do a mashup between Doom and Animal Crossing, it would by Cabela's. It would be awesome. Sponsored by Cabela's.
We're losing our Patreons as you guys speak. It just
well, do you want to fix it,
Well,
Goalie? I see that you brought one
yeah.
fake news article
Okay, cool,
and one unresearched real article. So you want to bring something else to the table?
What?
Friend?
I have another
Do you feel
thing-
better?
another
Do you feel
article
better
that
after
you
those
would
little
love
digs
to-
in my side? Let me take the knife out of my back. Hopefully you feel better now. That's what I tell the wife when she throws a dig at me. She starts talking to the dog. Oh, Daddy's being an asshole, isn't he? Yeah. You feel better? Yeah. Oh man. All right. So
Do you have anything?
Atari. Remember we talked about the Atari VCS retro console, right? Okay.
Yeah.
More problems. So apparently the architect behind it quit. So according to Engadget here, I saw this week and I figured I'd bring it up. The long-delayed retro console may be in trouble, okay? Because according to the Register, its lead architect has left the project. His name is Rob Wyatt. He was also a founding member of Xbox team member, so he's got some experience with video game stuff. He told the publication he's officially resigned as the architect of the Atari VCS on October 4th. He said Atari hasn't paid his design consultancy Tin Giant, which has been behind the console's development for the past 6 months. So this was a crowd-funded retro console supposed to be re-released last June, was pushed back into March of 2020 to a series of delays, and now the architect has resigned. I was hoping to see the project through to the end, and that it wouldn't come to this. But I have little choice other than to pursue other opportunities, Wyatt said. So, yeah. So,
I don't know. I mean, maybe it depends on. Did it say how much of his job was done?
Well, that's what you're starting to wonder. It's like, is he done? And he's like, okay, you haven't paid me, I'm out of here. But I mean, do they really need him anymore?
Is his architect job done, and he's now, off doing his next architect job? Or maybe it was coming to the end of it. He was not necessarily needed because the design is already done. And now they're in the production end phase.
Yeah. Well, Atari released a statement to Gamma Sutra, and it said, it is Atari's policy not to comment on an isolated matter under dispute, only to say that the Atari VCS project has always been a team effort, and its success has never been and will never be dependent on any single individual or a partner. We remain confident in the Atari VCS as the entire team works diligently to bring forth its vision according to plan, and we will continue to communicate accordingly over the coming weeks and months, including hands-on presentations to key media and partners planned for later this fall. Yada, yada, yada. So he also assured the crowdfunder backers that the hardware they will get will be 100% finished. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have to put that out. If they don't say that it's coming, especially after all the crowdfunding, they've got to keep saying it's coming.
But it's just, boy, this thing
even
come out,
if this is deadly to them, which we don't know how deadly it is.
Didn't we? We all had our
they have to do
doubts
that.
here on this show. We all had our doubts, and we were unsure. And then they announced the price, which was like $200 or $300, and we were like, yeah, who's gonna get that? And now
he didn't get paid. Thank you, AC Wraith.
Yep, he didn't get
He
paid.
did not get paid.
Well, his consulting firm didn't get paid for 6 months,
No.
is what the article said. So
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay, that's scary.
now, whether he
That's
didn't get paid
really
or whether
scary.
his consulting firm didn't get paid for 6 months, so
They did,
they
in other words, the company that's putting it out isn't paying its bills. That is concerning. That means they're in trouble.
yeah. Well, according to the crowdfunders, everything's going
Yeah,
along
yeah, no.
fine.
That thing's not coming out. That thing's not
Nothing to
coming out.
see here. Everything's
It's
fine.
not coming out. That when you don't pay or start paying your bills, because it's not due out until
March
March
2020.
2020.
They backed it off. Yeah, so they keep.
So they've already delayed it. Number one, they delayed it. Number two, they've delayed it to a point of where it's just a little far out to be able to say, okay, it's coming. Like if it was already in production and they were like, or close to production, and they have stopped, they didn't pay their bills for the last 6 months. So you retroactively backdate this now. We're talking about March, April 2019, they stopped paying their contractors, their important contractors. It's not
Something's
coming out.
up. Yeah.
It's not coming out. No matter what they say, guys. If you've crowdfunded this, I apologize on behalf of Atari, even though I have nothing to do it. You are not going to get your item. Let's just face it. It's not going to happen.
Or they're going to need some more crowdfunding.
They're going to be very hard pressed to do crowdfunding when they've got something completely crowdfunded. And how much was it crowdfunded for? What was it right at what they were asking, or was it for more than what they were asking?
Oh boy, I don't remember. I thought they met the goal.
Was it a Kickstarter or was it something else? What was it? What's it called? The
Atari VCS.
VCS crowdfunding. Let's take a look. I'm not seeing where if it was on. It was
on Kickstarter. That would be the first result.
Nope, it was Indiegogo, which is a different thing. They it doesn't say what did they ask for? They got $3 million.
Yep, just over 3 million. I might back it. What do you think? Should we get in there late?
It doesn't really
it sounds
say
totally
what
legit.
they were originally asking for. I don't know. $3 million
Maybe
seems like
I think that's the thing with Indiegogo is that they don't have a goal. It's
they don't
just
have a goal. Let's just give
an
us the money.
open-ended donation.
Yeah. Which I'm not crazy about because it doesn't say that they actually have a realistic budget.
There was a picture though that they posted. They posted an update October 8th. Pre-production is underway. And there's a picture. So it's production has begun.
No, it's pre-production has begun, which means they're doing the dies.
Here come the games.
They're essentially doing the dies on the models that they're going to be able to use to be able to press this stuff out, press out the plastic parts, and also same thing with the electronics. They're doing the prototypes of those so that they can get the specs to be able to, not prototypes, but they're like dies. It's actually you're making the molds for all the parts is pre-production.
So yeah. Well, I guess
all right.
Okay, I have a story for you. An epic story of Miss Pac-Man.
Okay.
So just has a bit of background information. This is important going forward. Miss Pac-Man began when a group of MIT students, and I'm going to get this from Ars Technica, a group of MIT students created a mod of Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So then they reached out to Bally Midway, which was the Pac-Man distributor for the US at the time. Bally Midway. To create an officially licensed Miss Pac-Man. They agreed. And so what happened is GCC, which is the group of students that made this original mod, General Computer Corporation, they received the right to a perpetual royalty payment whenever Miss Pac-Man was sold. Bally Midway retained the copyright and trademark, And those things eventually made their way to Bandai Namco, which owns it today. Fast forward to today,
Mm-hmm.
At Games is a company known for making retro hardware, like the Sega Genesis flashback console. And sometimes it's a bit of a bad retro hardware. One of the things they've had a lot of issues with Bandai Namco lately, where they were making a Bandai Namco flashback console similar to the Genesis one, but when they sent out early reviews to people realized that they weren't using the official arcade versions of the games. They were using ROMs of the NES versions of the game, which are downgraded compared to the arcade version. So that got them in a bunch of heat. That they're basically, even though they have the rights to use the actual Bandai Namco arcade versions, they're not. So that got it into a bit of a mess. After that, At Games wanted to make a mini arcade version of Miss Pac-Man. Bandai Namco, after that previous kerfuffle, basically said no. At Games, never one to be deterred by a straight no, actually made a Miss Pac-Man miniature arcade cabinet and
I
started
remember that. I
shopping
had
it
that.
to they started shopping it to retailers like GameStop or Walmart.
Oh, the new one. Yeah, okay.
This is before they didn't have the rights to do this. They were shopping this prototype out, assuming that they could get the rights later. Bandai Namco basically called out this bullshit and sued them for this. So, as this suit is ongoing, At Games then turns around and goes to GCC to buy the royalty rights from them for Miss Pac-Man. So at this point, then GCC agrees and actually sells them the royalty rights. So at this point, Bandai Namco owns the trademark and won't let At Games make the miniature cabinet. But at the same time, At Games owns the royalties for Miss Pac-Man. So whenever Bandai Namco sells a Miss Pac-Man game, At Games will get money from that.
Right.
And it is just a mess of absolute pettiness. And so at this point, this brings into question if Bandai Namco will ever really make a Miss Pac-Man game out of the pettiness to not let At Games profit from it.
Possibly. I mean, odder things have happened in games or anything. Odder things have happened where they have shelved IPs for books or for movies or for anything, and just they won't release them just simply because they hate the person or they have got personal petty reasons not to give that person money. It happens all the time, and not just in games.
Yeah. There's a quote from a Polygon article that, this is from At Games lawyers. At Games lawyers said to Polygon that Bandai Namco is so infuriated by the fact that we have entered into a contract with the GCC individuals that it has ordered its lawyers to attack At Games by any means possible.
That's entirely true. Possible that happened.
Yeah, wait. What did Heartbreak Ridge say? It said that
the guessing is
Bandai
that
Namco was
Namco's
lowballing.
Yeah, it was lowballing GCC. So GCC got fed up and sold to the sleazeballs because they got more money and to piss off Bandai Namco.
Yes, that's another part of this. Is that like if a company like At Games, which let's be honest is not a big company, was able to so easily buy these royalty rights, then like
the enemy of the enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Like sold it for $1 just to piss off.
The whole thing is just a mess.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people just getting pissed and stabbing each other in the back.
At the center is Ms. Pac-Man, who's nothing but love and wonderfulness. And she's not Miss Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man. She's Ms. Pac-Man.
Yeah, oh yes, she's an independent woman.
She doesn't need that Pac-Man dude. All right. Anything else?
In big news that like is just kind of everyone saw it coming. Red Dead Redemption is coming to PC.
It wasn't
It
at
was
PC?
officially announced.
It wasn't on PC?
No, it wasn't. No, remember last week or a couple weeks ago, Rockstar actually started their own digital platform, and everyone suspected that that is because Red Dead is going to come to PC, and they wanted the ability to sell it straight to people without like Steam getting a cut.
Right.
And sure enough, it is.
The question is,
So-
is Red Dead Redemption a big enough at this point, a big enough title for
Oh,
PC
yeah,
to actually could drive traffic to that platform?
It sold well. Like, I know we weren't the biggest fans of it, but let's be honest, it's a huge game.
It's a huge game, but it's also everybody who wanted to play it is kind of already played it, and they've got it on console. Right?
Yeah, but PC it has mods and it has
there is that.
and
There is that. The mod community,
visuals.
the character play community. Yeah, I guess so.
If they would mod it on
I'm sure there's a
PC,
market there.
if they would mod it to speed it the fuck up, I might grab it on PC and play it. Holy shit!
You
those
know what?
first
I'll
6
bet
hours.
you that will probably be like one of the
Probably.
first mods.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah, just
Certainly.
just can you get me through the snow a little quicker? Holy shit! I've been going up this mountain for a day and a half. Do something. Do something.
All right, Goalie, do you have something else?
No, I gotta think
Are
about
you
wrapping this up
sure?
on my end because I gotta. Did I send you something? Because I have a
No,
meeting tonight.
you have one more thing about a rare spawn hunt.
Oh, about Borderlands. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that last week. How they're having weekly things with Borderlands 3, and boy, I'm trying to find that article myself. But they have
You sent me the link. I've got it.
pull it up then. We'll read it then because I don't have that up anymore. But yeah, so this week they're dropping their rare loot or the legendary loot, and it actually lists the places to go to find it. Yeah, right below that little ad right there. Yeah.
Sorry, stand by. I need to do something here.
So yeah, the first one you can see is the Rackman. So you get the legendary pistol, and then it just goes right down the list of the rare spawn hunt loot drops. So you're getting some. The legendary sniper rifle. That looks like it would be pretty good. But I don't think I have anything legendary right now. I got a couple of pink things, but they're really old. Yeah, I don't have any legendaries right now. I don't even think I've seen one.
I could give you a ton.
No, don't wreck my game. Don't wreck my game. I
It's
just
not gonna wreck your game. That's part of the game is sharing stuff.
You remember when?
Well, this seems cool because
Do you
this is
remember?
basically
No, wait.
pointing out where
Do you
can go
remember?
get legendary stuff.
You remember when the Brady Bunch went camping, right? And they were fishing, and they didn't catch any fish, and they go back to the camp with no fish and nothing to eat, and Carol Brady and the girls brought fried chicken. And the boys were like, "We're not eating fried chicken. We're camping. That's sissy food." So I feel like it'd be sissy food. That if you started giving me all these legendary things in Borderlands 3, I would feel like I didn't catch any fish, and I was taking fried chicken from you on a campsite, which is you're supposed to be living off the land, and that is wrong. That is wrong. So no, I don't have any legendaries, and I'm perfectly fine having no legendaries. You found the scene.
What?
It's the fish they caught for dinner. How did you find that?
Because I'm awesome.
Are we gonna get banned for 60 days now for playing videos on oh man. This is the scene. This is the one. Dad, just speed it up to the fried chicken. Speed it up to the fried chicken. Oh man. They started eating the fried chicken in front of
You
them.
were able to find that so quickly.
Yep, there it is. There it is right there. There's the fried chicken. No, Dad, that's sissy food. There it is. There's the fried chicken. That's what I'm talking about. Here's Edie. Look at these legendaries in here. Goalie, take a legendary. No, take a legendary. Oh, look at this sniper rifle. It's sissy food. There it is. look at this legendary pistol, though. It's unbelievable. No, I'm not. Legendary shotgun. Look at this. Unlimited ammo. No. Oh, man.
So wait, but how is Edie giving you a legendary different than Gearbox saying, "Hey, go over there and get a legendary"?
Right.
I don't know, but this legendary shield just melts in my mouth like this fried chicken. Look at this. Oh.
No, you know what? If we're
there's
being
Edie-
honest,
look
if we're
at
gonna
Edie
be
sitting there
honest,
eating the
I'm
chicken.
going to say something. It might be controversial. No, chicken is better than fish.
It is.
So I would always take
And
fried
look at him.
chicken
And
over
what?
fish.
Wait, but what?
This
What
is
just
a win.
happened?
They
What
won
just
in
happened?
that situation.
That's right. What just happened there?
Chicken.
They eventually.
Chicken is better than fish.
And there you go. Look at that. Take
Oh.
the gun.
Oh, man.
Take the gun, goalie.
Oh, man, this video show's awesome. This is the best show on YouTube right now.
Man,
And well, here's the greatest thing, right? Me and you, we can reference our old stuff that goes right over Nick's head, and now you can show him what we're talking about, and he can laugh with
talk
us.
about
He can-
the tiki.
oh, we got so many things. Gilligan's Island things we can talk about. Oh, Nick,
gosh, yes.
you're gonna get educated from the 70s. You really are. You really are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
So,
stuff. Yeah, so that was the last thing I had was the legendary loot drops coming to they've upped it a little bit is what they did for this week, and then next week they'll have something else. But yeah, so if you're playing Borderlands 3, can I go back to that rack guy there, whatever his name is, rack monster or nice rack?
Stand
Can you go back?
by.
Can you go back to those and fight them again? Because that.
Oh yeah, you can always go back and fight him again.
Because if I'll have to figure out how to do that. Because if I've already fought them, then
Oh yeah, they keep coming up as because there's what was it, the Power Rangers, essentially the Power Rangers, I forget what they're called in the game, but you have to fight the Power Rangers. They keep coming up as something to kill, as a legendary spawn to kill, and they keep coming up over and over again, and you'll kill them, you'll see the poster, especially in your on the sanctuary on the ship. You'll see the poster come up as a little exclamation point. You go over there and you look at it, you accept it, you go down to the wherever planet it is, then you go kill them. When you come back up, a day or so later, that poster will be back up again.
Oh, I
kill
have to go
them.
find the posters. Okay.
Yeah. Go to the poster. If you're on the ship on Sanctuary, in the back on the that would be the port side of the ship, right? I think it's in the back where all of the quarters are, your room essentially. In that area, you'll see it on your map if there are posters to kill things. It shows up there, and you just walk up to it, you accept it. Those are the rare spawns that you have opportunities to kill.
I'm doing that now.
When you accept it, that's when they will start spawning.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to go check that out
Coy
again.
Wallace says you got to look for the rack symbol in that zone. It's not just on the poster.
Oh, okay. Good to know. There we go. All right. So you might have to do a little research on where to find.
Yeah,
these things.
I'll check it out and see if they can get the drop again.
If you want to do it with me, that's cool. I would love to have you.
Just
join me
keep
with-
the fried chicken away. Keep the fried chicken away from me, okay? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get my own fish for this thing. I don't want no more fried chicken.
You are
I'm
so
gonna laugh if you
stuck.
never find the legendary.
I'm doing a hunt right now. I went to some new area there, and it says, "Oh, go kill these 2 people." And holy cow, I am getting lit up just trying to find these people there.
Was it Wick and Wardy? Because you and I did.
No,
Wick and Wardy,
no.
And Wick and Wardy respawn all the time.
These are 2 gang members that I'm going to get now. I landed on some planet, and I was supposed to meet somebody, and then I found somebody along the way, and it gave me a side mission, and I'm trying to go kill these people. Oh, holy cow. I am getting lit up. It's almost like an old Western type of place is where I am right now. And I am getting destroyed. In fact, I had
Western. You mean Eden 6?
Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
that's like the bayous. It's supposed to be like bayous.
Yeah. So I had to go. I there was like a machine there that sold health stuff, and I would go around the corner and I defeat some people. I had to go back and buy health because there was no health anywhere, and I was like almost dead. It was 3 times I had to go spend money on health. That was a tough corner to get around.
Right. By the way, I want to mention something about Borderlands 3 that I don't see. I haven't seen anyone write about, mention about, comment about. Is how this game is over the top inclusive in kind of a revolutionary way. You have a gay romance, long-term gay relationship that is mentioned and then just kind of like, okay, that's fine, which is great. There at the end, you haven't hit it yet, but one of the last missions you have has to deal with disabilities and treating people with disabilities kindly. You have a number of really inclusive messages being said and done that are just kind of put in there and then not commented about. There's no there's no overtone to it. It's just, hey, it just exists like it exists in the real world. And it's kind of refreshing. And I don't see more so in this game than any other game is it inclusive to people with disabilities and different lifestyles and different genders and different sexualities. I'm really amazed at what a very cool game this is, mostly because it includes it like it's just part of everyday life. Doesn't point it out, doesn't make a big deal about it. It's just how it is. And I think that's kind of cool. But I'm really surprised no one has mentioned it. And it's a part of me says that's kind of neat that everyone takes this as it's completely normal, which is kind of neat. It's very psyched. I just
want to shoot shit. I just want to play a game and shoot shit. That's all I want to do.
Right.
And whatever.
Yeah. The last, very, very last mission as part of the regular game. It's actually slightly after the regular game. That's a claptrap mission is really cool. It's really cool. It has to deal with a girl in a wheelchair. And it's really neat. It's definitely a feel-good moment. I guess that's it. Is there Corey Wallace says you can just show up to where they spawn. In the rack menu, open up Carnivora, fast travel to it, and the rack symbol is in the sky if he's at the spawn location. So you can actually go to Carnivora and look up and you will see it. Oh, and the cameos in this game, PlayStation and Borderlands 3. Have you noticed the amount of cameos are in this game?
I haven't seen any camels.
Chris Hardwick is in it.
What do you mean by
he's
cameo? Oh,
Chris Hardwick is the voice of what's his bucket in the underwear. I can't remember his name. It's not Reese. It's somebody else. Penn and Teller are in it. Ice-T is in it as a major character. Penn and Teller are bosses that you have to fight. It's really, really neat just seeing these people show up. Especially the Penn. When I remember with the Penn and Teller one, I remember hearing him on the radio go, God, that sounds just like Penn Jillette. And then later on, you actually meet that character, and it's like, oh, it is Penn Jillette. That's awesome.
Wait. How the fuck does Teller give his voice?
He is in the game, but he doesn't have his voice. Penn and Teller are a boss fight later
they just
on.
Took his look.
They're Pain and Terror in the game. Instead of Penn and Teller, they're Pain and Terror.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's really neat.
Okay. And so Teller still doesn't talk.
Teller still doesn't talk. But he is something you have to fight.
Good. Huh.
All right.
I just sent you one last video on email that we could probably put up to end the show on. And it's funny because it already has one dislike.
And
already.
we just got a new Patreon. Heartbreak Ridge, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ridge.
$1 closer. We're almost there.
I'll
All
be
right.
able to afford a webcam.
Shut up, Nick. You're a dick. You'll still be late.
I never said I would be early.
You should be at least on time. Oh, all right. So stand by. The last video we will show is actually what is happening with the GameHounds game, because this is a game that's actually being made. The gray box.
He posted last week that he had made progress and he was testing out a couple of things. I don't know if it was what did he say? Last week he chimed in. He did. He made some comments on the broadcast last week that he had a couple of things he was working on.
Okay. Well, let me we will share the audio on this, so you need to be quiet because it apologies if it's too loud. But if you haven't seen it, ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of Ookie Bookie Spelookie. Fight through one complex level. And it is just walking around blocks.
That's
I think I made that 2 years ago. I think I made that.
So yeah, but Ookie Bookie Spelooky's coming. It's delayed. We want to make it the very best possible game, very best experience. We just need a little extra time to do that because we want to deliver to you
it's gonna come out
the
the same
very
day
best gameplay
as,
experience as possible.
But the lead architect quit, so we're postponing it to March 2020. Don't worry, all the bills will get
we want it to
paid.
come out the same day as Doom and Animal Crossing.
That's right. Oh, we should so go up against that. That'd be awesome.
That would be good. Who knows? That game may actually come out. I completely believe that it will come out. By the way, if you need any help getting that game together, let me know. I am
It's gonna
unemployed
be
these
a
days.
launch title for PS5.
And PlayStation 6 for Xbox.
No, we should actually
yes,
be a
yeah.
launch. We should be a launch title for the Atari.
Oh,
PCS.
that would be hilarious.
Yes, yeah,
That would be hilarious.
we'll be a launch title.
Ookie Bookie comes with Ookie Bookie Spelookie.
Preloaded. All right. By the way, if you ever want to see that again, there you go. Ookie Bookie Spelookie link. So, all right. So anything else before we quit this show? By the way, I want to take a shout out to our people listening on Spreaker. We still have AC Wraith. Carlito's Pride is in there. Peter is in there. Hopefully, Peter, you're still got power. You should have it for another 15 minutes. After that, I'm really sorry. But everyone who was watching us on YouTube and on Twitter, thank you. Facebook, thank you so much for being here. So anything else before we close out this show, gentlemen?
I actually forgot about this before, which is kind of funny.
Right?
Wired has a much deeper look at the PlayStation 5 and
Oh.
like some of the things that it will improve upon.
Uh-huh.
The Sony Twitter basically sent out a tweet yesterday that was like PlayStation 5 coming out in like holiday 2020, which everyone knew, but it's just like their official announcement. But Wired sat down with Cerny again.
Who?
And he just kind of gave some Mark Cerny.
Mark Cerny, okay.
About some of the things that they're trying to do and like how the SSD will change the experience. And some of the one of the interesting things, like they didn't talk a whole lot, but one of the interesting things about the SSD is that they want to change the UI so that instead, when you highlight a game, instead of just like seeing a quick overview of the game, you can actually see more detailed information. If it's a multiplayer game, you could actually see like ongoing multiplayer servers that you could join from the UI. If it's a
Mhm.
single player game, you could actually see like what missions you can do next, things you get rewarded for, like more in-depth detail about your progress through the game and like what is your immediate next objective in that game. They want to make the UI, more and they say that because the SSD is faster, they're able to take that information and put it on the UI. So this is all due to the SSD. In addition to that, they're going to change the controller to include I forget what the actual thing is called, but adaptive triggers, which I think the Xbox has this. The triggers offer different levels of resistance depending on what you're doing in the game, so that like pulling the trigger and shooting a shotgun will feel different than pulling it to draw back a bow and arrow. They'll have different resistance. And I guess the guy from Wired played a demo of GT Gran Turismo Sport and
Mhm.
said that he could actually feel the difference when driving on gravel versus driving on the road. Like
That's kind of nice.
the resistance on the trigger felt different.
Mhm.
Just one of those little things about the games.
Right.
And those are kind of the big takeaways from it. Just more information about what they're doing, and just more kind of weird Sony going like real understated in putting out news about the PlayStation 5. Like they're not doing it on an E3 show. It's like, hey, here's a tweet and here's a Wired article. And that's it. Like they're not holding big press conferences about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're looking at this end of next year or end of this year. What do we know when we're
End of
expecting?
next year, PlayStation
End of
5,
next year.
2020.
Yeah, so we're a long
Yeah.
ways away from what it is. They could tell
Not
them
that long,
they could
though.
they could give you espressos and say, "Oh, this was made by the PlayStation 5," but then they took it out at the end. So, what they're working on is great, but it's still a theory at this point.
Mhm.
All right. So,
And that's the last
anything
thought.
All right, that was your last thought. Goalie, anything to add before we close out the show?
No, I got to go to a work meeting.
All right. So on that note, hold on a second. On that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds episode 517. We are did record on Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Holy Goalie and Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. Gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We have a Patreon if you would like to support our Facebook feed and our Twitter or our YouTube feed. Hi, we're waving at you. We are at patreon.com/gamehounds. $1 a month is all we ask. Also, we have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is The Gamehounds. You can actually see us live on when we record on the Gamehounds Facebook page, as well as on YouTube. It's Gamehounds Vids, VIDS, as in videos. Find us there. We do record this show live at 9:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. That's our audio feed. As we said, we're also on YouTube. And now, thanks to the upgrade from, what's the name? StreamYard, which is what we used to record, we can now do it on Facebook. So you will be seeing us on Facebook as well. If you'd like to join us, thank you so much. If you joined us via Spreaker, we had Peter, we had Barbara, we had AC Wraith, we had Carlitos Pride. Peter, sorry that you're about to lose power. And in YouTube, we had a bunch of people. Thank you so much for joining us. Fuck you, Gole. I can see you. And finally, we'd already I guess it's and don't forget to check out the Facebook. It's got news and reviews from throughout the week from more than what we talk about. Goalie, fuck off. You
wasn't doing
are
anything.
banned from the stream. This is why. This is why
Edie,
we
you're
can't
getting
have
angry
nice
when he's
things.
just sitting there. I don't understand.
This
He's
is why
just
we
sitting
can't
there.
have nice
Got so
things,
mad.
Scully. Anyway, thank you for talking or for being with us, and we will talk to you next week. Download us off of iTunes, iHeartRadio, and all Sonos devices. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, we're on Spotify now too. Bye. You guys are dicks.
I'm
That
tired
was
and punch
fantastic.
happy. That was funny.
I'm just gonna have to remove you from the feed.
I am the feed.
In the future, I'm just gonna have to you know what? In the future, I'm just gonna have to hold on. And we're out. Okay. In the future, I'm gonna have to remove you from the feed because you're just so distracting, dude. You're so I'm
That's
trying
what
to
makes
trying to
GameHounds.
remember. It's one thing when we've done this before, but I'm trying to remember all the new stuff that we've got going. You're
Yeah.
awful. By the
If
way,
you,
we are still live on YouTube.
I was thinking about the guy that invented the StreamYard. I talk to him on Facebook all the time. He comes on people's shows. I thought about seeing, and I said we do shows on Wednesdays, so I might see if he wants to come on next week for a few minutes and talk about StreamYard.
Let's get a little bit farther in before we have our platform owner come in. Let's get this thing working so that it is fluid, streamless.
I mean,
and
like showing up on time with a webcam.
making sure that the banners are all set up, that you don't dump games on me that didn't get mentioned. Well, you mentioned games, but like,
Hey, we sent you all the games.
you did send us all the
With the
games, but
text.
not all the
With the
articles and topics, which causes me to. I mean,
You
when
didn't ask for those.
right, but whenever I have to put something up that I have to research, it means I didn't hear anything that you just said because I'm literally over on this side of my computer looking stuff up and trying to queue it up for you. So, like, I can't do my own news. I mean, you'll notice I didn't bring any news. Couldn't bring any news because all I'm doing is scrambling because I'm having to be producer and host. And what the fuck is that?
What?
It's an inflatable turkey.
Inflatable turkey. Of
It's
course.
a turkey
of
in a
course it is.
can. That's what it is.
Duh.
I bet you don't have one.
Got me there.
It's an East Coast thing. Turkey in a can.
What is it? Is it really just a blow up turkey in a can?
Yeah, I got it a few years ago as a joke, and I couldn't believe it. Like, it's a big turkey too, and this is the size of it came in this. So I use it now just to hold like clips and stuff. But it's like,
Oh, you
kidding
opened
me?
it. Okay.
Are you? It's like, yeah, I opened it up here, but it's just like this turkey is huge, and they stuff it. I couldn't get it back in there, even if I deflated it all the way. Stuff they sell. This is for Patreon people right here, so you get to see inflatable turkeys.
Right. I'm looking for the funniest thing. I'm looking for the funniest thing I ever bought.
Your
I don't know.
your college diploma.
Fuck yeah.
Wow! Damn! That
way over the top. Shut up. I wish.
straight into the heart.
Next on Game, huh?
No.
Edie goes to college.
Gully loses his job. No, I can't find it. I may have thrown it away actually after all these years.
Sure. So, let me say. Yes. Yeah, so this week on Kung Fu, what we're going to talk about, okay? On Kung Fu. Kung Fu?
Not cool. Not cool.
Oh,
right.
Stop. Don't be like
Is
that.
it Kung Fu the Legend Continues?
Yes, I love kung fu.
That's the only one I know.
No, there was the original Kung. Oh, well, I can pull it up. The original
No,
Kung
I didn't
Fu.
even know
The
there was
great-
an original Kung Fu.
Yeah,
I only knew
David
Legend
Carradine.
Continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Legend Continues. Was he in the
right.
original?
But the original Kung Fu was him as well.
It was black and white too, wasn't it?
Oh.
Kung Fu TV show.
Did they?
Was it? No, it
No.
was not. Stand by. I will pull it up.
Did they eat fried chicken?
Oh, hold on.
They ate fried chicken. I can tell.
At some point, they probably did. They had to have.
Oh, it was in color.
So not okay to in today's standards, but it was a great show. I loved this show.
Oh, he was like a loner that just walked around, right?
Huh?
Wasn't he like a loner that just
Yeah,
traveled
he was.
around?
Yeah, he just traveled from place to place. Oh,
Why
what
is
was
it in
that?
the desert?
Oh, that's him.
Oh, this is his backstory. This is the intro?
Yep.
Man, old TV intros were long.
Uh-huh.
I think every week we saw this too.
Yep, we did. We saw it every week.
And it wasn't long. Back then it wasn't long. It was that's just what it was.
Yeah. I mean, compared to now, where an intro is
Yeah.
10 seconds.
And you're speeding through it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ooh.
Dodgeball.
Ooh. Ooh. Boy, this was a long intro.
Right?
No.
Get the fuck out.
Is this still the intro?
This is still the intro.
No, this can't be. No.
Well, this was the long intro at the very first episode. Shh. Anyway,
Oh, at the very first episode. So this is
Yeah,
that was,
that's
that was the
fine.
long intro in the very first episode,
Okay.
and then from there on out, it would be a truncated version, but included him with the lifting of the red hot kettle
that's
and the
different, though.
branding on
I
his
thought
arm.
that was
Yeah.
really that was okay. So that wasn't the usual intro.
Mhm. Yeah, Kung Fu and Hogan's Heroes, both of them not okay anymore.
Clink.
Gonna clink. And Sergeant Schultz. You can't people our age, you can't say the phrase strudel without hearing Sergeant Schultz in your head. And on that note, we will let you go to your work meeting, Golly.
Yeah, I'm gonna print out a bunch of shit and get ready to go. It's gonna be a long day. Then
I
gotta
have
work
to go because
Friday.
my brother bought me concert tickets tonight, so I'm going to the Chase Center to see the Who tonight, and I have to contact him and figure out how we're going to get over and get back, and whether we're going to have electricity. Oh yeah, my
Oh,
electricity
yeah.
might go out in 1 minute, so I should probably end the broadcast.
Oh, yeah,
just in case.
Get the computer
Oh,
off.
right.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone on the on
Bye.
the broadcast. Thank you so much for our Patreon sponsors. See you next week. Bye.